rarely does our plan match what God has for us. So we think we have this great plan, it's gonna be the best thing for us, but then it'll get shut down. And you don't know why, you can't figure it out, you're depressed. Been there before, that's why I'm talking about it. But all of a sudden, you're in the right place, the right time, you're in the right spiritual walk at the same time, that God's like, here's the plan I wanted you to wait for. And he just hands it to you. Hey guys, this is Steve Cochran, or Steve the Cap Rogers. We're gonna be filming today the road to my first Classic Pro show. We're gonna get into back today, and I wanna share some struggles that kind of comes with prep, you know, the things that people really don't know about. So let's get into it. Today is a detail-focused lower back day to mid back. I do a lot of single arm because that's the only way I can really feel the lat and the connection and insertion at the bottom. Just warming up right now, get some blood flow. A lot of people don't know that, you know, they think it's just the food, the gym, you know, PEDs, but you don't know the stuff that goes behind the curtains when you're not in the gym. Daily struggles, if you have a daily job like I do, you know, it's an added stress that can make or break you for the day. I mean, I've had a couple times where it's just a really bad day at work, and I'm either gonna have a great session because it was bad, or I'm gonna have a very distracted session. I don't get out of it what I need to. And it's just something that comes with it. You can't make up for the day, you can't go back and try to do it over. It's just, you just take one day at a time when it comes to prep. You can't really think about future stuff besides the moment you're in when you're training, you know. Focus on what you're doing, focus on the things that are your goals. And it's hard to leave like home life, work life at the door. You know, you gotta compartmentalize some stuff. It's definitely a mental game, not just with the food. It's a mental game 24/7. So.
How do you do that? Like after everything, like how do you leave it at the door?
I have a very rare ability to where I feed off my friends and I feed off their energy, and I want to give that same energy back. So instead of coming in being all sulky or whatever it is, I come in, like I see my buddy Mikey, I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be a great day, you know? And my mind switches to the fact that I have a friend here. You know, not the fact that I'm in the gym, but I have a friend here today. Like I'm gonna get a great workout in. And I don't want to bring someone else down if I'm feeling bad. So it kind of lifts me up knowing that my boys are around. You know, I got Damien, I got John, I got a bunch of people here that are on the team that I have a very good privilege of having 4 days a week. You know, so leaving it at the door, sometimes harder than other days. You know, it's definitely not 100% foolproof. It's a task to kind of really focus on the gym, focus on the next set without having stuff come up that was on your brain earlier or the day before, or not being lean enough, or not being big enough, not weighing enough. There's just so many things to consider, you know, when it comes to bodybuilding. And if you can't control things, don't. You know, the things I can't control, I let go, let God. You know, easier said than done, because I like to have control of everything around me. But it also gives me a little bit more of a freedom to know that I don't have to do it on my own. You know, whether it's, you know, God pushing me through the day, my friends helping me through the day, like, I'm never alone. And that's what helps. So, I'm gonna get in the second set. So I have 2 back days a week because it is my weak spot when it comes to bodybuilding. My lower back's just not as developed as the rest of my back or the rest of my muscle tissue. So when I train with the team on Tuesday, I do whatever Ryan has us doing for the day. And then when I come in either Friday or Saturday for my second back day, I really want to focus in on like hitting my lower lat, the insertion, and just making sure that I'm getting a full rep range, which for me is a lot easier to feel with one arm, so I can actually get that full rotation into it and I can actually feel a squeeze. So I do have a nerve connection issue on this side where I can't feel it. So very specific movements is where I can feel it. So just try to focus on those. I'm a little gassed already. Good music always helps in the gym too. And on my detail day, I only do 3 sets of everything, so I can hit a little bit more exercises. I love this movement. Ever since I saw Pumping Iron, when Arnold Schwarzenegger was doing this, I like how he reaches all the way to the beginning and then comes back and pulls it and gets a really good stretch, but he also gets that deep squeeze. Allows me to kind of round out my back and get a better stretch in like the mid and upper lat. Kind of like a turtle shell. It's probably one of my favorite movements. Doesn't matter the handle grip, I just love this. So, you know, if you guys are thinking about bodybuilding, you already do, I'll tell you this, your struggles are gonna happen no matter what. You're gonna have a good lifting session, you're gonna have bad ones. The best thing you can do is remember you have a goal, but focus, you know. I've had horrible sessions to where unfortunately I'm throwing dumbbells because I can't lift what I need to lift and I feel weak and just no motivation. But then I think back, you know, how far I've come. I have the greatest coach. He's put more muscle tissue on me than anyone has ever. You know, he got me my pro card at USA's last year. Just focus, discipline. The bad days come and go just like the good days. You're good. You know, if you can be all happy with the good days, happy with the great days, but if you let yourself feel the opposite on the bad days, it's just gonna bring you down. You're already down, why do you want to feel down longer? I just rub some dirt on it. Easier said than done, but I try to think about it like that, you know. The longer I stew in an off day or a bad day, the longer it continues. And so I think about it as like, okay, if I'm having a great day, I'm living in it. You know, continues because I want it to keep going. So do the opposite for a bad day, you know? If it's a bad day, attitude's a choice, you know? The way you are with people in your life, it's a choice. But on the bad days, have some grace for yourself. Prep is not easy, dieting is not easy, training balls to the walls is not easy. If it was cliche, everybody would be doing it. You think if people wanted to be lean and bodybuilding show ready all the time, that they would eat like us. Well, it's not easy. That's why nobody does it besides the bodybuilders, you know, or other athletics. So just be patient with yourself. The gym's always there if you have an off day and you can't get there. This stage is always there. You gotta take a year off, it happens. Life happens, let it happen. Just remember, for me, the gym is not the all-time priority. You know, I can't get to the gym if I don't pay my bills for my house, my car. I can't get to the things I love without doing the things that I might not love so much. But we all have those things. You know, the things we have to get through to get where we want to be. Some people, it is just the gym to get to their goals, but a lot of other people have work, you know, their relationship, you know, they've got a lot of other excess things going on if they've got kids, you know, and they have a harder time getting to the gym, but when they get through those times, you know, taking care of the family, taking care of the kids, working, and they still go out and do it, that's someone not to mess with. They got discipline and they want their goals to be, they want them to come to fruition. They don't want a dream to be a dream. That's how it was for me. I just didn't want to continue dreaming about being a pro and never getting there. So I trained and I keep training. And for a long time, the gym was all I had. It was just work and the gym. And it was like therapeutic for me, especially after the military. But you know that now that I have like a lot of other good things in my life, it's not therapy. It's not a chore. There's a joy that comes with it. And I love working my ass off to know that I'm bettering myself. You know, if I'm not nervous system failure or puking on a leg day, I didn't go hard enough, you know? But I enjoy that. It sucks in the moment when you feel like that, but I just know I went hard enough. I got the squeeze, the tension, the reps. You know, it's hard to puke on a back day. I have done it many times, but it is hard. But I already said earlier, you know, you take one day at a time when it's prep. Take one day at a time when it's life. You know, we always want to plan so many different things, and we have all these ideas of a plan. Rarely does our plan match what God has for us. So we think we have this great plan, it's going to be the best thing for us, but then it'll get shut down. And you don't know why, you can't figure it out, you're depressed. I've been there before, that's why I'm talking about it. But all of a sudden, you're in the right place, the right time, and you're in the right spiritual walk at the same time, that God's like, here's the plan I wanted you to wait for. And he just hands it to you. You're like, wow, that was way more than I even thought for myself. So that's what I mean by have grace and have patience for yourself. Daily life, work life, family life, gym life. Just be patient. Be really patient. It took me 6 years and 7 national shows to get my pro card. And by no means do I think my first show this year I'm going to go to the Olympia. But I know that the time it takes to build that quality tissue, the size I need to put on because I'm still like way underweight for Pro Classic. It took me 6 years and I still made pro. Doesn't mean that I'm not gonna ever make it to the Olympia. It just might take a couple years, maybe a couple more than a couple, but it doesn't discourage me. A loss isn't the end of the world. A loss is just like we train, it's a teaching moment. I continuously learn from other people. They might be younger than me, older than me, they might have a different mindset, but there's always something to learn if you're willing to keep your mind open and keep yourself open. I think about like the way that Ryan has us train, the way I used to train with some of my other buddies. Then I watch Charles Glass, how he trains people, and I'm like, wow, like I've got to try this and this and this. And out of nowhere, you're hitting a tissue you haven't felt in forever. It's cool that you can continuously move something around just a little bit, change something just a little bit, and it's a completely different movement. There's always something to learn. Then you can appreciate it after the fact. Because you know you hadn't hit that spot, now you hit it, now you know how. And then you can pass on the same knowledge that you were given. And it's our job as athletes to properly teach the next generation how to lift properly, how to have gym etiquette, how to take care of themselves properly, give them the information, you know, that they need. And if you don't know it, send them in a direction where they can get it so they can have, if they're gonna bodybuild or, you know, whatever, but they're gonna be healthy for a longer period of time versus going down a potential rabbit hole of not knowing and listening to just one person, you know. A lot of people don't do research on their own anymore. So, not everybody, but you know, a lot of people just don't. They just take their advice from their buddy and they run with it. And I don't operate like that. I like to get a bunch of different information and then go research it and compile it into one thing that's gonna fit for me, you know. But I don't have to do that anymore. I have Ryan, so he does everything for me, takes a look at me. He knows exactly whether up the carbs, lower the fat, lower the carbs, up the cardio, everything. I just gotta give him that 100% of me. Otherwise, I'm just doing a disservice to myself, disservice to my family, my wife, and I'm not giving the respect that Ryan deserves being the coach that he is. Because if I'm just gonna slough off, and he's the most winningest coach there is in bodybuilding, I feel like it's just a purely disrespectful thing, and I feel like I would be disappointing him or failing him along with failing myself because I didn't stay strict or I missed cardio or. So that's where my mind goes for like that discipline aspect, is I don't want to fail myself, I don't want to fail my wife, and I don't want to fail Ryan. And it's not out of fear of failing, it's out of knowing that I never want to. So it pushes me to be greater than I thought I could be, or it pushes me past the limits that I thought I had. You think you can go 0 carbs for a day and you're like, oh yeah, I did it. And then Ryan's like, oh, 4 more days. Okay, you did it one already. Just gotta suffer, buckle down, do what you gotta do. Because at the end of the day, if you don't, you can only blame one person. That's yourself. I've had plenty of those moments too. One of my last coaches, I was like 16, 17 weeks out, and my dumb butt, I ate an entire half gallon of freaking triple chocolate ice cream. So I've had my mess ups, guys. I'm not perfect. One time I didn't even understand back in the day about fats and carbohydrates very well, and I thought they were like all interchangeable, right? And I knew there was bad fats, good fats, but you know, you think you look at a protein bar, it's like, oh, it's not gonna have bad fats, right? Well, Power Crunch, I love you, but man, I was eating like 8 or 10 of those a day. And I ended up getting a little fatter in between a regional show and a national show. It just goes to show, man, it's just easier to follow what your coach tells you to do. It's just simpler. It takes all the pressure off of you too. You have somebody that's willing to give you this information, take a look at you, take the time out of their day to make sure you're ready. The least you can do is follow it. It's bare minimum. If you want to win, train like a winner. If you want to win, follow the plan like a winner and eat like a winner. Look, so in bodybuilding, you lose a lot more than you win. You just gotta, man, just take it up. There's no drawing board that it has to go back to or any changes that are crazy. It's just being better, one day at a time. There's always something to change, something to improve, no matter if you're top of the world or not. And that goes for any professional aspect. I guarantee pro baseball players, they want to be able to throw a fastball faster than they did the year prior. Same idea. We just want to be better than we were last time. And this is another one of my favorite machines. A lot of people don't use it. It's all weird, but I like doing single arm cable rows with it. Like a real low row, pull it right down into the hip. Kind of like putting something in your pocket. Same idea as the stretch on the cable row over there. Like let full stretch in the lat and squeeze that lower. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Might be talking a lot, but my body's tired. I only slept 2.5 hours last night. Let's grow, come on. I'm gonna have to de-sweatshirt now. So, I did do a pro show last year, right after USA's, but it was men's physique. And my true passion has always been classic. I've done classic since it came out in 2016. So, this is technically my second pro show, but it's my first classic. So we'll just kind of see, knowing that I'm probably gonna be giving up at least 15 to 20 pounds for my height. See how I compare to the veterans and whatnot. If I'm comparable, I'm in a mix at some point, like even half. Ryan's probably gonna have me stay in Classic next year and just build throughout the season. If I'm not really comparable, I'm kind of at the end of the pack. We're gonna go to physique because I'm closer to that weight cap. And they told me they only needed a few small things, just tightening up the lower back, tightening up the serratus and the lower portion of my abs. And posing was a big thing because I've only done physique at Universe and USA's last year. It was my first time, so it'd just be like little tweaks to kind of really show the body a little better. And also being able to hold my core tighter was a big problem. I didn't have the endurance or the stamina that I thought I did. Like even right now, I'm breathing heavy, and I've been talking more than lifting, but it's part of like, make sure you're posing like religiously, time yourself, hit your mandatories, whether it's classic, physique, bodybuilding, you know, practice, because I mean, my first pro show, we were on stage for almost 20 minutes. Like that's just physique, it's front and back. You know, that's a lot. You know, I can't even imagine classic. You know, so to have that endurance, have that wind, making sure that you're dry enough but not depleted to where you're not sweating off your tan, you're not huffing and puffing, you know. That's one thing I love about Ryan. Me and my buddy Chooch, he's on the team too. We were the only ones that didn't need wiped down at Pacific USA's. Everybody else, the other 19 competitors all need wiped down because their tan was just running, you know. And I was tired, don't get me wrong, but we had just as much water as we needed to in our system, so we were full, bubbly, but still tight, and not too watery to where we were retaining enough to sweat. So it was Ryan is gifted because he doesn't just cookie cut it for men's physique, classic, figure, wellness. It's like everybody is so stinking individualized. Everybody's metabolism is monitored just so much. He just like, oh, I'm only gonna take 25 carbs out of your low day, but I'm gonna put 50 on your high. Okay, you know, you just do it. You know, I've seen every single result he's had with all the pros before I was even a pro, being able to train with the level that the pros were training before I got mine. Like, it's a whole nother world that when I was living in Maine and New York, I was by myself. A way different training style. So it's really nice to have that, and to know that where the growth is coming from is actually following, you know, coach's plan, but also training with people that want to push you past the limits you have. Not letting you fail in that aspect. You know, we're doing, you know, say we're doing chest, like I'm at rep 8 and I need 10. They're gonna tell me to push as hard as I can. They're gonna barely touch it so I can get that squeeze still. Not necessarily help me all the way, but so I can actually squeeze the chest and actually get what I need out of the rep without failing the repetitions. So that's something I've never come across on any team. So, I mean, you could be competing against another person on the team that you train with every day, or always push each other every day right up to the show. It don't matter. Does not matter. It's just another day to push each other to be better, man. And to not see it as so, you know, competitive or confrontational. It's nice. You're just able to focus on you working out, making your buddies better, them making you better. And then on stage day, just have a good time with it. You're there to have fun. This is supposed to be a fun sport. You know, a lot of stuff in this sport is not easy to do, nor is it fun. But if you're choosing it, just remember you're the one that chose it. Life is definitely not easy already. Then you add crazy, crazy diets, crazy training and cardio to it. Can add a lot. You'll find out, you know, if you do a show, if you're mentally strong enough for it, or if it's even something you like, you know. But there's so many different sports out now, like for any version of athleticism. I mean, there's CrossFit, there's strongman, there's bodybuilding, you know, there's powerlifting. Like there's always so many different options for being in a gym. And it's nice. You can kind of cater to anybody that really wants to be healthy and still be an athlete, you know. So that was the last one for this. I'm gonna see, there's another machine that I wanna do. It's a max pump. It's a chest supported. It's a very humbling machine. So we're gonna go over there next. So I used to have this like kind of like more this way, but I came to find it was hitting like more of my upper back and my mid back. Like I said earlier, like my lower back's my issue. I got hurt in the military and I herniated a disc and sciatic pain. So that's why I have no nerve connection on my right side, like pretty much all the way down to my hamstring. And like it's hard to flex my back. It's hard to flex my right hamstring. It's either one or the other. I either get the hamstring or the back, you know, and it's because I can't have that mind muscle connection anymore because I literally have a nerve that's not working anymore. And but Ryan had me lean this down just a little bit, just enough to get like that mid-low, like right in the tree, and try to thicken that spot up because they said I finally got the shape of it, but I wasn't dense enough. I wasn't 3D enough at USA's and Classic. So that's always been the goal, just growing the back. But my big thing now is to finally really have like beyond shredded hamstrings and glutes. You know, it's kind of like an entry fee for the pro league. Like you don't have shredded glutes, you're not even second call outs, not even close. So, you know, getting lean, but doing it right, doing it slow and controlled so you're not losing the tissue that you just put on. You know, we all want to grow, but you're putting on new tissue. It's not matured. It's not, you know, as feathered yet. So if you diet too hard, too fast, all the work you just did in the off season is gone. And then you have to start all over again. So You give a coach a good off season. You give a coach the ample amount of time to prep you, and you'll continuously grow. When I started with Ryan, I was 182, 183 pounds, and I was 7.5 weeks out. Within the first 4 weeks of my prep, I went all the way up to 201, and I was 2.5% body fat less. And that's just from listening to someone, you know? But that growth has been continuous from 22 when I started with Ryan all the way to this past year of getting my pro card. And so I saw big blessings, you know? I moved out here and I didn't expect to even be on a bodybuilding team. I thought I was gonna stay with my old coach. I thought it was all gonna be online. And to have the relationship I do with Ryan as my coach, and he's a friend of mine, like really close friend. Like he jokes with me quite a bit. It's never anything I thought that I would have, you know, access to or have that attention from a coach like that, you know. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Remember, we all have plans for ourselves, but God's got a better one. Even if it's just something as small as this, you can see a blessing like this. You can either appreciate it or just take it for granted. And in my life, I've taken way too many things for granted, and now I just want to appreciate everything that God's given me. You know, because right now could be my last day. I could pass out and not wake up, you know. So to just take the time and appreciate people around you, the people that God's put in your life, you know, the people that God's taken out of your life, and your circumstances. You know, you got a job, you wake up, you're healthy. Man, that's all blessings. You're able to get up and walk out of your bedroom and go brush your teeth and breathe, and something so small and so like nonchalant, that is still something that's still precious. But you gotta see it as being precious, see it as being a blessing. Let's get after it. Machine's a little weird. Racking it, if you're doing these, you definitely need help. So I like doing the wide grip, but it's still a pain in the butt to, as soon as you go up and weight, it's still a pain in the butt. You kind of have to launch it pretty hard. But I will say this machine, all the max pump stuff, all the stuff in here is just, it's another level. It's a better way to train. Like, I never had access to any of this stuff. And to have access to something that I can literally change 5 different ways and hit multiple different portions of my back. You can pick every back machine in this gym. I guarantee if you did back every day, 5 days a week, all the different variations, all the dumbbells, all the selector rise, all the plate-driven stuff, even the racks, it would take you almost 2 months to go through every single variation of every movement with how much is in this, just for back day. Now imagine having that for chest, legs, delts, and then arms are another story. You can do cables, dumbbells, you can do anything. Barbell, like, this gym really does have it all. So if you can't get it done in here, you better ask someone for help, man. This place is, talk about Mecca. I've been to SciSet and I love Bev Francis Gym. Love it, love it, love it. The vibe's different though. They do have all the equipment you need, but I just love this gym. You know, I helped move a lot of this equipment in here. I saw it when it was nothing, you know. To be able to be a part of that, to be able to help, to be able to watch it turn into something and know that that's what Ryan wanted this whole time, is just a public gym so we can focus on the athletes. And to watch it finally come true and have him have that, it's like you're happy for him, like you're joyful for him. And those are the things that people should appreciate. I'm not just talking about the gym though either, you know, that's just because where we are right now. You know, you appreciate what you want to appreciate, but like the things that you see every day, like driving here. I have a 40-minute drive one way. I made it here safe, you know? It's the little things. It always has been the little things. They're the most precious, and they're the most taken for granted things in the world by me and other people. I've taken so much of the little happy joys and the little things that you don't even think or anything for granted. I don't want to be that person anymore, you know? You gotta appreciate what you have. You never know when it's not gonna be there no more. See what I mean? I'll pull it up and like latch it real quick. So we only have one movement left after this. And I think we're gonna do T-row if my back can handle it. So we did the 350s earlier for a video. We're doing kind of like a squat deadlift with it. So see if my back can handle like, you know, at least 2 1/4 to get some good reps in. Good squeeze, good contraction. We're gonna do like close grip because we've been doing wide on a few other things, and everything else close we've done single arm. So it'll be nice to get both arms, squeeze and pull. We got one more of these. I need a massage, dude. My back is jacked. I would suggest going to like selector eyes or a machine that's a little bit more assisted if you're new. Not that you can't do it, but if you're new, start out with stuff you know you can handle. You can still grow your back. I started out with like really, really old Nautilus equipment that was older than me, you know, and I was still able to win my first 2 shows. So you can do a lot with a little. But in here, you got a lot. So you can do a lot more. I'm a little weird. I kind of like to almost stand off the platform a little bit. I like having a very tight center of gravity. My back scares me a little bit. Last time I heard it, I couldn't even walk, so it took me like 3 weeks just to feel back to somewhat normal. So this is really light. It's not bad on my back, but we'll go real slow. Get a nice good squeeze in there, stretch, and squeeze. Now we're gonna add some weight. I'm a goofball. I'm also really weird, but I wouldn't be me if I wasn't, so. I like to joke around, I like to dance in the gym. I even do it on peak week. 4 weeks out, don't matter. But there are those days where I am just dead. I don't want to talk to no one. I don't even want to train. Last set. Let's go. Oh. Whew. Well, guys, it's all for back day. I'm winded, I'm tired, I got cotton mouth, not hydrated enough. But we'll stay in touch. This is just the first one. I want to show you guys the progress, how the mentality changes, emotions, everything just fluctuates. And it's okay. It's okay to have those moments, those days, even if it's a week. Just make sure you get your stuff done. Take care of the home, take care of the family, and come in here and take care of you. That's a wrap, man. Next time.